What's up guys, it is Chris back with another watch video. Today we are talking about 5 dive watches under $500. I came up with a list of 5 dive watches that are offering exceptional value for the money, and all of these watches are under $500, either brand new or on the secondary market, whether it be the gray market or used market. They all come in at around $500. I gave myself just 3 simple rules. 1, it has to be a brand that I respect, that I like. And of course, this is a personal list of 5 watches that I feel are iconic dive watches. And good value dive watches at that $500 mark. So of course, they have to be a brand that I think are worthy of the title. And number 2, they all have to have rotating dive bezels, screw down crowns, screwed in case backs. So all of these watches will have those features. And third, also very important, they need to have at least 100 meters of water resistance. Yes, 100 meters, and I make that rule because of one watch that I want to include on this list, and we'll get to that watch later on. So, getting right into it, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite watches, and that is the Tissot Seastar 1000, a 300 meter dive watch with a lot of credentials. It has a ceramic bezel, it's 43 millimeters wide. It is just a really great watch with a Powermatic 80 hours of power reserve on that Swiss made ETA movement, and it's an incredible value, especially on the secondary market. Brand new, currently the newest models with the canvas strap and the butterfly buckle are coming in at around $700, $795. You can already get those models on Joma Shop and other secondary market retailers selling those watches under $500 for around $450. So an excellent watch for the price, really a watch that you almost cannot beat for the price. Second, it is the SKX, an iconic watch in my opinion, a watch that really is extremely durable, and a watch that will really take a beating. If you look at some of my videos that I've done where I tested the SKX, its durability through a whole series of tests. I froze the watch, I put it in an oven for I forget how long. I froze it, I boiled it. I did a whole bunch of tests with that watch, and it basically survived them all. It went through absolute hell. It's a very durable watch. It's also a very good looking watch. I especially like the one on the rickety old Jubilee bracelet. I feel as though it's such an authentic feeling watch. I love it. Now, they don't make them anymore, and the replacements, the 5KXs, aren't as good in my opinion. However, you could still get used SKXs out there on the market. You can get them gray market, brand new still, in the $300 range, and they are an absolute bargain. You'll spend anywhere from $300 to $500 on an example of an SKX. There are different grades of SKX because some of them are made in Japan, some of them are made in Malaysia. Really, in my experience, there's really no difference between them, and you definitely should just buy the one made in Malaysia. However, that is entirely up to you, and I think they're just a great watch. Definitely check them out. If you don't own one, every watch collector should. They're just a fantastic watch. Next is Christopher Ward. Christopher Ward makes some fantastic dive watches. We're talking watches like the C60 Trident, the C65 Trident. In particular, I want to talk about the C65 Khaki manual wind. This is a watch that comes in around 41 millimeters. It has a manual wind movement in it. Swiss made. It is a fantastic looking watch. Again, you're getting 200 meters of water resistance. It's a very good looking watch and a very capable watch at the same time. A lot of people give Christopher Ward a lot of flack because of where they place the name on the dial and how it's placed at the 9 o'clock position. There is a lot of lettering in the name Christopher Ward. My name is Christopher, I know it. And a lot of people go crazy because of that 9 o'clock position. It honestly does not bother me at all. I think Christopher Ward put a lot of thought into their watches. Maybe not where they place the name, but Other than that, there is a lot of thought and a lot of R&D that go into these watches. They look good and they come in at great prices, especially on the secondary market, especially on the used market. So I mentioned this specific Khaki manual wind because they come in at around $500 on eBay, selling all day long, and you can buy them at gray market dealers for around $500 as well. An excellent price for a watch in that price range. Next, I want to talk about the Hamilton Scuba Khaki. Now, this is a watch that comes in at 40 millimeters. It has the H10 movement, which has 80 hours of power reserve, just like that Powermatic 80. It's the same movement, essentially. And you get a ton of value in this watch. These come in at around $400 to $500, depending if you want a bracelet and what color you want the actual bezel insert. You could get a bunch of different colors. They have green dials, blue dials, black dials, and the bezels come with orange in them and all different accents. Really beautiful watches, very classic looking watches, very classically sized at 40 millimeters. They have very nice bracelets on them. The only caveat with this watch is they are 100 meters water resistance. Even though they have screwed in crowns and screwed in case backs, they only have 100 meters water resistant. In my opinion, that is more than enough, and I always feel secure when you have a screwed in case back and screwed in crown. So really, that is all you absolutely need, in my opinion. Again, I would like it to be 200 meters because I think that's the minimum that you should have for a dive watch. However, 100 meters is sufficient if you're not really going scuba diving with the watch. If you're just swimming with the watch, you could shower with the watch, you could do anything, go swimming in a pool, go swimming in the ocean, and you will be 100% okay, and you should have nothing to worry about. But just a caveat, because this is a dive watch video, and I just want to say that 100 meters could be better. That's the only thing there. However, it's a great watch, and it's an iconic watch. Hamilton makes some iconic watches, and the Scuba is definitely one of them, and I highly recommend it. It's a great watch, and I hope to have one in on review very soon. Last but not least, it's actually the watch that I'm wearing right now, the Victorinox INOX. Essentially, this watch is a watch that inspired my series on the SKX, where I put the SKX through a ton of different tests. The reason why I did it, I was inspired by the INOX. And the INOX comes in with a whole bunch of different variants on their model line. So you could get one with a rotating bezel without this one does not have a rotating bezel, but it's 200 meters water resistant. This one is in titanium and it's bead blasted. They have stainless steel versions, titanium versions, carbon versions, rotating bezels, non-rotating bezels, all different versions, ones that have survival bracelets on them. They're amazing, and they've been put through the ringer. They've tested these watches to the limits, and that's essentially what I said is inspired me to do my Killing the SKX series, where I put the SKX through a ton of different tests to prove how durable it is, and the INOX was really the first one to do that, and they went crazy on this watch, and it really stood up to all those tests. When they first released the watch, they actually listed all of the tests that it went through, and for some reason they took all those tests that they put them through and took them off the website, which I was kind of disappointed about, and that's essentially where I went to find some of the ideas to put the SKX through, but that's all gone now. Anyway, I would say that there is an automatic version, there are quartz versions, there are automatic versions of this watch, and they all come in at that $500 range, especially if you go on the secondary market, and they are an absolute bargain in my opinion, especially that automatic version. It is a very capable watch, a very cool watch. It's a good looking watch, and you get a lot for your money. Anyway, if you like these videos, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel and it is much appreciated. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. Also, I have a bunch of links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click any of those links, you don't have to buy the watch that it is linked to. If you buy anything through those links, it helps go support the channel, and I very much appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it does not bother your benefits with Amazon Prime. Anyway, please add a comment below. I know there are plenty of other watches out there that I have not mentioned. There are plenty of Seikos out there that I haven't mentioned just from my own personal love of Seiko. There are plenty of Seikos out there that I didn't mention in this, like the Monster, which is another great honorable mention in this list. And there are tons of other brands that have watches that come in under $500 that are awesome dive watches, but these are just 5 that really are some of my favorite brands and some of my favorite watches in general. So that's why I wanted to make this list. Anyway, thank you for logging on, and I'll catch you in the next video.